Okay guys, today we're going to be talking about multiplying with multiples of 10, but before we do that, I got to make sure that you understand a couple of rules we've already talked about with multiplication. So let's take a look at an easier problem like 2 times 3. Now, what is 2? 2 is just really 2 times 1, right? I mean, that's where 2 comes from. And if I multiply that times what 3 really is, which is just 3 times 1, then what I'm doing here is expanding this problem, just making it bigger. But it's really just the same problem, right? I mean, this is still really just 2, and this is still really just 3, right? But you know from the commutative property that I can do this stuff in any order, right? So what if I multiply 2 times 3 first? So I can change this problem into 2 times 3 times 1 times 1. Now you know that 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 1 is 1. So really what this problem is 6 times 1. Now I get the same answer either way. If I do 2 times 3 or 6 times 1, it still gives me 6, right? All I'm doing is just reorganizing the problem. Okay, now if you can do that, then you should be able to do the next step here. So in order to multiply times a multiple of 10, this is a multiple of 10, right? I'm going to do the same thing, except this time I'm just going to split apart the 30. Let's make it a little easier, right? So this becomes 2 times 3 times 10. Now instead of doing 3 times 10 first, couldn't I do the 2 times 3 first? I mean, commutative property says I can do whatever way I want. So I can just change this into 6 times 10, which is a little easier, right? So that's 60. Now, here's an even easier way to do it. When you're looking at a problem like this, instead of thinking 7 groups of 50, you can do 7 groups of 5 and then multiply that times 10. What you're really doing is you're splitting this 50 into 5 times 10, right? And then you're doing the 7 just comes straight down, right? So we've got 7 times 5 times 10. Now I like to do this part first, right? So this becomes 35 times 10. So in order to figure that out, you just say, well, I'm going to take this 0, I'm going to put it on the end of the 35. So it's 35 groups of 10, which if you counted 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, you could do that. But that's going to equal 350. So when you see a problem like this, just take the first part, 6 times 3, that's 18, and then, and then multiply that times 10. So 18 times 10 would be 180, that'd be 18 tens. Okay? So just multiply the tens place like it's a 1, and then put the 10, and then multiply everything by 10 at the end.